Hey folks, it's Nate. I've got a couple updates for you guys. Quick update on the bumper project, and I'm just finishing up some little fiddly things on the Jeep. And I just figured I'd make you guys a quick video, give you a few updates, a few status updates, go over a few little smaller projects that I'm doing before I get started on the bumper, and have a beer. Alright, so first things first, I got kind of some sad news today. One of the prefabricated things that I purchased for the bumper build are these recovery points. Big, solid, beefy things. I posted a picture on social media when I got them. The company who makes them, ATC Fabrication, the owner, his name was Zach, he's been in the community in this area, the Jeeping community, for 20 years, probably about as long as I've been Jeeping. I ran across him years ago on a message forum before Facebook and whatever were a big thing, and I may have been one of his first customers. I bought a set of rocker guards from him, to the point where he didn't even have like them prefabbed yet. He basically asked me for specs, and he built them to the spec that I asked for. They may have been a one-of-a-kind set of rocker guards, for all I know. They went with the old YJ when I sold it. He passed away over the weekend, which is kind of sad. Today's a Monday. I found out today. I don't know what happened to him, or, you know, why it ended like it did. But it's kind of sad. I didn't know the guy terribly well, but he has been around a long time, and he'll be missed. So, for all I know, he had a hand in making this particular set. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But if he did, thank you, Zach. You make quality stuff. The next thing I want to update you guys on is, as you know, I wanted to finish off the bumper build with a winch. I tried a few things. Tried reaching out to Warren, see if they wanted to sponsor a little channel. That didn't work out. I can't blame them. I'm tiny. They probably get requests from so many other bigger names, and it was right around King of the Hammers, and I'm sure they had put a ton of money into sponsorship for King of the Hammers, so I can't blame them for not supporting me, but whatever. I'm not going to harp on that. But I did still want to get a winch, and I want it to be a Warren, because they're pretty much the only name that I trust to get me home from, the nastiness which you would need a winch for. So a friend of mine pointed me to this guy on the Facebook Marketplace. It is a Warren M12000. That's a 12,000 pound winch. And it's a bit overkill for the LJ, but my plan is I'm going to fix it up. I got it for $200. $200 is pretty cheap for a 12,000 pound winch. Obviously it doesn't have a cable, doesn't have a fair lead. Well, it has a fair lead, but it's missing pieces. It doesn't have the hand remote, but I can get all those things for like another $200-300 put into this thing. I'll probably have a good functioning winch. He did hook it up to a battery and show me that it does spin, so I'm probably going to contact Warren and find out what it is I should do to sort of give this thing a once-over. See if there's a rebuild kit available for it or whatever, just to sort of freshen it up, because it does look like it's a little old. And then I'll have a winch. Now, that's a big winch. I don't even know that it'll probably fit on the bumper when I'm done. The thing I want to avoid, though, is designing around that enormous winch and then getting a smaller one. But my plan is, since the 12,000 pound winch could, in theory, damage the Jeep, right? The Jeep LJ weighs about 4,000 pounds. A little more than 4,000. I actually weighed it with me and my gear in it once, and it was like 42 or 4,400 pounds. The frame just isn't designed to withstand 12,000 pounds. Now, obviously, I may never have to actually pull 12,000 pounds, but the winch is capable of pulling 12,000 pounds before it stalls out. And that's kind of a concern, because if I do get to that point, I won't know it until it stalls out, right? And at that point, I could damage the vehicle. I don't want that to happen. So anyway, I think what I might do is I'm going to put this on the bumper when I build it, assuming that I don't have to modify the bumper, the plan for the bumper to fit that enormous winch. And then I'll run it until I can afford something better. Or not better, per se, but more suited for the vehicle. And then what I'll do is, I'm hoping to, once I'm done building the bumper for the LJ, I've got that JK out in the driveway. JK's like, I don't know, 5,500 pounds. They're much heavier than the little LJ is. 12,000 pound winch would be a little more suited for a vehicle like that. So my hope is that once I'm done with the LJ bumper and everything's cool and I can afford a different winch, I will then build a bumper for the JK and put that winch on the JKU because it's a little more suited. And we do want to build the JKU to be like a family wheeler, and I really don't want to be in a family wheeler with no winch if I can avoid it, right? Seems to make sense. So that's an update on the bumper. I will start building the bumper probably, maybe even in the next video. Basically, I need to get some consumables. I want to get a new spool of welding wire because the welder, I checked it last night. It's not empty, but it's getting there. I don't want to run out of wire halfway through recording a video and then have to delay. I have the steel, my 3/16 plate steel here. Beefy stuff. I mean, it's not crazy beefy. I could have gone quarter, but a lot of people were saying, oh, 3/16 will probably be okay as long as you brace it well, and I intend to. So that'll be what I'm going to build it out of. But I need like cutting discs and stuff and a few other things. I want to get some cutting oil for the drill bits, you know, whatnot. Just usual consumable stuff that needs to be consumed when you do a metal project. So that'll be soon. Hopefully I'll pick that up in the next week or so, and then I can get started on the bumper. So that's it for the bumper for now. I'm really looking forward to getting started on this. I'm really also starting to think about what's next. And I think next, after I do that bumper, I'll start thinking about the JKU bumper. And I really want to try rock sliders for the JKU. And for that matter, I may build better rock sliders for the LJ, because these were really cheaply put together. They're basically just, I think they're 16th. Yeah, I think they're 16th inch angle steel that I just slapped on there when I took this thing wheeling for the first time or second time, because the steps that were on it were just getting destroyed. So anyway, so I also told you guys when I did the tail lights that I had to move my CB antenna. Got that done yesterday. It's mounted to the spare tire carrier now. It's really the best place I could think of to do it. Also, good eye Blaine. You guys might know Blaine. He's been in a video or two. He was watching my LED taillight install video, and when I did the test on the taillights, he noticed my third brake light is burned out. None of you guys noticed that and told me. Blaine did. Thank you, Blaine. So now I got to do something about this. I was considering just taking it off because, you know, I don't know if anybody will notice that, but really the light bulb is simple to replace. I'll probably just replace it and call it done. You also may have noticed in that video that this light wasn't working properly. It would kind of cut in and out on me. I also noted in the video that I thought it was a bad ground. It was. I pulled the ground off, I rewired it, I cleaned up the nut and bolt that it was attached with, or no, I replaced the nut and bolt that it was attached with. Now it works perfectly, so awesome. Taillights are done. I did say I was going to have a beer, didn't I? Get me some Dead Guy Ale. So what I really want to do tonight, though, the simple project I said I was going to work on. Since I've been in a wiring mood with the taillights and all, I'm not going to be able to open this one-handed. Just a sec. When I put the All-Terrain Concepts headlights in, they have a halo that I didn't wire because I didn't know what the wiring was. Since then, I've used my test leads to figure out the wiring. And it's pretty simple. I wrote down the coloring. So basically on the back of the harness for the headlight, there's these two little leads that I hope you can see. The red one is for the running light, or the normal white halo. And the green one, if I remember correctly, and I'll check this and note it if I'm wrong, the green one is for the signal, like turn signal / amber marker light. What I'm going to do is try to get these wired today. Or at least get the marker light, or the turn signal light wired. I really want that to operate. The halo, I'm really thinking the halo should be switched. So basically the way the headlight works, and I tested this with the, maybe I'll show you with the leads, but basically the way it'll work is if the halo is on, it's white. If the halo is on, and you turn on the turn signal, the amber light, the halo will turn off. It'll turn amber, just like it were the turn signal, and then it'll stay, you know, like say you blink it a few times or whatever, the white halo actually stays off until the amber light has been off again for a couple seconds. So that way you don't get this funny back and forth flash look. What you get is an amber light, which gives you a clear turn signal, and then you get the halo back. So what I could do is I could wire up the white halo to just anything that has 12 volts when the Jeep is running, and we'll be good to go. The problem is, I can foresee a case where I may want to have the Jeep running and not have the halos on. Just for, say, I don't know, if I'm running from the police. No, that's not a good example. If I'm out hunting or something with the Jeep and I want to turn off the headlights because I'm idling or something, I just want to be able to turn off the halos. It just seems like the right thing to do. So what I want to do is either run a switch or find some kind of a switch pod or something. Switch pods are too expensive, so I probably won't go that way. I'll put a rocker switch or something in the cab so I can turn off the halos when I want to. And then I basically just need it to be on a switched 12 volts. The turn signal lights, on the other hand, really all I have to do is patch them into the turn signals on the front of the Jeep. As far as I know, anyway. There's single filament bulbs in the front of the Jeep, so they're not like the rear where the brake and the where the brake and the light are separate. In this case, the running light is just like the marker light, and the marker light goes on and off when you turn on the turn signal, right? Single filament bulb should be an easy job to wire up. Just put on a vampire connector and run it to the halo. So I'm going to try to get that tackled tonight. I don't think I have any hardware to really mount a switch inside of the dash today, so I'm not going to handle that. What I am going to do is I'm going to work on these marker lights, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. Shouldn't be a hard job. So now you should be able to see these connectors pretty well. That's what I was talking about. Red is for the halo, green is for the signal. Again, with the weird color combos. So the light itself just plugs in to where the factory light plugs into, which was really easy to set up. The housing is grounded. There I go, making it come loose. I should really tie these together somehow, but I don't know how to get that done. I'm worried that'll come loose someday, all by itself. But so yeah, what I'm going to do is cut these off. This guy's in the way. He must be a ground for something. Yep, it's ground. I feel like my marker lights are actually running through this loom right here. If I can get in there, I can literally patch this with 2 inches of wire. So I got to figure out what color the wire going to either the front or the side marker light are. Maybe they're the same wire, I don't know. Figure out what they are and find them in here, and maybe I can patch it right here. That'd be pretty awesome. Looks like the same setup on the other side. So I guess I'm going to have to ask ATC what the hell the deal is, because this doesn't light. This should be flashing along with this. If I turn on the marker lights, I'll do that in a second. Comes on solid. I bet I get solid out of this now. Yeah. I mean, is it the wrong lead? I don't know. Well, I am not going to lie. That was disappointing. Tried to connect the headlights. First, I connected them wrong. Okay, that happens. Mistakes, whatever. Connected the marker instead of the, or the halo instead of the signal light. Fixed that up, and I don't know, they don't seem to work as turn signals. So I'm going to have to write ATC and find out what I did wrong. Or maybe they don't work that way? I can't imagine they wouldn't work that way. I was getting 12 volts to them, intermittently, of course, because of the signal flash, but it just wouldn't light. Wouldn't light the amber ring. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to work as signals. They work fine as marker lights, which seemed weird, but I don't know. So anyway, we'll consider this an update video. I'll get back to these lights. One thing you may have noticed while I was testing the lights is that I still have that whole hyper flash problem from installing my LED taillights. I have a fix for that. I don't have parts for it yet. There's a modification you can do to the flasher relay in the 01 and newer TJ that requires buying another relay and soldering it in there. So that's what I'm going to do. The older TJs have a much easier modification in which you just cut one ribbon inside of the relay and ta-da, it works. But that doesn't work on what I've got, of course. So what I'm going to do is get that relay. It's a Radio Shack part. I'll make a video on how to get that done too in case anybody's interested. But I don't have the parts for that yet. And to be honest, I'm just a bit frustrated at the moment. So I'm going to go finish my beer, watch some YouTube videos or something, and call it a night. So, sorry for the anticlimactic end to this video. I didn't really get anything done that I wanted to get done. It was more or less just an update. And hopefully, next time I give you guys a video, it'll have a little more substance. Thanks for watching. Hey you! You stuck around to the end of the video. You're awesome! You should probably hit the subscribe link up over here, and make sure you hit the notification bell, otherwise YouTube's not going to actually tell you when I produce something new. You can also support me via Patreon by clicking the link up over here. And if you like this video, you should probably check out the recommended content that's coming up down over here. If you want merch like I'm wearing right here, you should go to SWBCrawler.com and check out my shirts and hats and whatever else I've got for sale. Thanks for watching.